I'm going to take a look at the 2021 trends from the National League. Only the National League, not MLB wide, just 2021 National League trends. Now, going to talk about win-loss records, just straight up records, run line records, and then also over-unders. Now, if you are a fan of baseball, which I would assume all of you are, or at least in some capacity, you know there's 15 National League, 15 American League, total of 30. So I did top half and bottom half for these trend categories, and I only went to 7 because it would just kind of be redundant if I didn't. So top 7, bottom 7, we'll go all the way through it. Now, you might have noticed at the beginning, I'm not going to talk about win totals. I didn't really want to get too deep into win totals because I feel like everybody has been talking about win totals, and it just doesn't provide that value to me. Even if it's at -110, like I just don't see holding on to a ticket for 160 some odd games or whatever the case it might be. I'm good when I can be cashing tickets all day long. Now, if it was a severe plus money, like maybe some of these I'll tell you with the division winners, the league winners, maybe we have something to talk about. But as far as win totals go, I'm not going to talk about those. So I suggest when I talk about some of these straight ups here, straight up wins and losses for the National League, I suggest you kind of start to take that into stock as you do your own research and formulate your own opinions for wins and losses. Because again, I'm not going to talk about them here today. Now, first things first, let's start it off with straight up win-loss records. We'll start things off with the top 7. Number 1 was the Giants, 109-58. I'm not saying that they are going to repeat a similar performance, but I think they're going to get damn close. So, yeah, actually, I think they're going to have a similar performance. We'll talk about them a little bit more as we get into pitching rotations, everything on in between. But this is just kind of trends right here. Second was Dodgers, 112-62. The Brewers were 96-70, the third place NL team. The Braves were 99-78. Now, that was the fourth place National League team. However, that is the 10th overall team in baseball. The Braves were 10th overall, 99-78, but 4th in the NL. So little something to think about there. There are some AL powerhouses that we'll definitely be talking about tomorrow. But sticking with the NL, number 5 top was the Cardinals, 90-73. The Reds behind them, 83-79. And the Phillies, 82-80 for the top 7. Now, the bottom 7, I did worst to best. Or worst to best worst, however you want to look at it there. Worst, obviously, I'm not saying they're going to be this bad again. This one, I think we see some improvement upon. The D-backs, 110 last year. 52-110 last year. One of the worst records in all of baseball. I think there was 1 or 2 below them, but yeah, they were dead-ass last in the NL. Pirates right behind them, 61-101. Nationals, 65-97, right behind them. Marlins, 67-95. You would think that would be a little bit different with that pitching staff that they have that I'll actually talk about today. They got to get that offense rocking and rolling, and I think they can improve upon that. Cubs, 71-91. Let's go, Cubbies. Let's get it together here in 2022. Rockies, 74-87, and the Mets, 77-85 for the bottom 7, worst to best, if you will. So that's just straight up. Well, I'll talk about it more in depth as I get into the pitching rotations and stuff there, but just wanted to keep it high level, trends, some stuff for you to take stock of so you don't have to go searching through team rankings or searching through Odds Shark or Baseball Reference or everything. You can just tune in, see my pretty face, and I'm just going to tell you straight up right here to see how easy that is so you ain't got to go scrolling all over the interweb. So, next thing up, we're going to ATS or the run line. Again, did top 7 and bottom 7 on this one. So getting things started with the top 7, the Giants were 167 to their run line, followed by the Brewers 88-78, second team in the NL against the run line. Obviously a severe drop-off there, 12 game differential there in the win department. Rockies were 85-76, but that was a lot of games they had at plus 1.5. Cardinals 85-78 against the run line. Marlins 82-79. A lot of their games were plus 1.5 as well. Cubbies 82-80 and Braves 89-88. Those bottom 3, Marlins, Cubs and Braves, say that 5 times fast, were kind of in that spot where there were a lot of plus 1.5s, and they did solid at the end of the year covering those plus 1.5s, and kind of all throughout the year for that matter of fact, but that is why they are in the top 7 in that category. So be safe, be careful is what I'm trying to tell you if you see those teams as minus 1.5 on their run lines coming in early in the season. Bottom 7 as far as run line goes for the National League. You got the Mets, who were the worst, 70 and 92 against the run line. The Reds were 72 and 92 following them. The Nationals, 74 and 88 behind them. Padres, 75 and 87. Phillies, 75 and 86. And the Pirates, 77 and 85. And I apologize. And the Diamondbacks, 80 and 82. So again, worst to best when it comes to the bottom 7 in the National League on run line. So again, just a little bit of food for thought, something for you to think about, something for you to take stock of. As we continue, I'm throwing my baseball all over the place, as we continue to roll on here into the NL Special Edition. Now, final bit of 2021 trends that I wanted to touch on is the over-unders. Everybody likes to bet overs. Everybody likes to bet unders. Everybody's all about them totals, too, when it comes to MLB, so we got to talk about them. The best over teams in the National League, I'm only going to tell you about 4 because of a key reason. Now, let me tell you about them first. Diamondbacks to the over. 89, 66, and 7 last year. So I'm not going to tell you that's because they're a spectacular team putting up a bunch of runs. That's because most of the time they were getting drubbed, and then 7th, 8th, 9th inning, the other team would give up, and they'd make it a tight game by 2 runs, and it would fly over the total. So I think the Diamondbacks are going to be another solid over team this year. The Padres also were in the NL, 86, 72, and 4. The Reds were 81, 73, and 8. Pirates, 77, 76, and 9. And that's why I'm only giving you 4. Everything else under that was under Central. The Cubs, 77, 78, and 7, my friends. Outside of that, every other doggone team in the NL was an under wagon. Again, going from best to worst, or I guess you could look at this from, best to worst, I guess, in this category for under teams to the under. So I'm going to flip this. So I'm going to say the under number to the under. So it's not over under now. It is literally to the under. So the Rockies were 87, 68, and 5 to the under. So an over-under record of 68, 87, and 5. So 87, 68, and 5 to the under. The Mets were 84, 70, and 6 to the under. 86, 76, and 5 to the under were the Giants. Dodgers, 87, 77, and 10 to the under. Miami, 80, 72, and 10 to the under. Nationals, 82, 74, and 6. Cardinals, 81, 74, and 8. The Braves, 87, 80, and 10. Brewers, 79, 76, and 10. And the Phillies, 80, 77, and 5 to the under. Now, obviously, you see that the under is a rather popular bet, a rather popular casher on the NL side of things. And I truly believe that is because a lot of these damn dominant pitchers, and there are a lot of ballparks in the NL that I think about it that are more pitcher-relevant ballparks, ones that have the wind blowing in, or more oftentimes than not. Like, I'm not saying they can't have the wind blowing out, but more oftentimes than not, it is more pitcher advantageous, if you will, a lot of these NL ballparks.